आचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. With the profuse blessings of our Acharya Swamiji, we are proceeding with our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita with special emphasis on the commentary of Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada. We are in chapter 18. Chapter 18 has been hailed by Adi Shankara himself as the summary of all the chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. And it includes even summary of Upanishadic thoughts, Vedanta Artha. Now, Bhagavan started answering a question of Arjuna. What is the difference between sannyasa and tyaga? Finally, he answered that both mean the same in our context, because we are discussing the karma yogis and not the jnana yogis. For karma yogis, you have to abandon the fruit of your karma, the ownership of your karma, and the attachment to your karma. These three have been emphasized right from the beginning, right from chapter 3 of Karma Yoga. So Bhagavan mentioned that it does not mean that you abandon the karmas, because yajna, dana, and tapas, these three must be done for purification of the mind, not for pleasing Bhagavan. Our karmas, our pujas, our prayers are not for pleasing Bhagavan or getting something from him. No, they are all meant only for purification of the mind. That should be our attitude. Now he went on analyzing what karma means, what happens when you do a karma, and what are the obstacles in achieving the goal specified by Bhagavan. So he said in the last sloka number 12, that every karma after death also results in three types of fruits: anishtam, ishtam, mishram. Something agreeable, something disagreeable, something which is a mixture of the both. So Shankara interpreted this as it could be a birth among devas, it could be a birth among animals, or residence in Naraka, or it could be a birth as human being, Mishra. Now, these things happen only when you have not abandoned the ownership and the fruit of the karma. Bhavati atyaginam. Natu sanyasinam kvachit. It never happens to those who have abandoned the fruit of the karma. So, this point has been emphasized very nicely in the previous sloka. Now, what happens to a normal human being is he expects the fruit. He should not expect the fruit is the root, but he expects the fruit. So, Bhagavan goes and analyzes how the fruit will come to you. Well, only when you know that the fruit is decided not by only your efforts, then at least you will develop some detachment. So he has gone into the analysis part. That is sloka number 13.
पंचैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे सांख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम्.
Hey Mahabaho, mighty armed Arjuna, because all this analysis will think only in a person whose mind is strong, and mind becomes strong when the body is strong. So that is the idea. So he says, Etani pancha karanani me nibodha. Understand, me nibodha. Understand from me that these are the 5 causes. Causes for what? Sarva karmanam siddhaye. For success in any karma. for success in all karmas, all activities, there are only 5 reasons that he is now setting forth. Sankhye Kritante Proktani. From where he got these 5 reasons? They have been mentioned in Sankhya Shastra. Kritante. Kritante means Vedante. Kritam yati karma uchyate tasya antaha parisamaptihi. Yatra saha kritantaha karmantaha iti etat. Kritante means karmanta. At the end of all karmas, that is Upanishads. After Karma Kandam, Upanishads specifies Jnana Kandam. So he says Vedanta or Jnana Kandam. There, Sankhya Shastra. Sankhya Shastra is developed by Kapila Muni, which involves 26 tattvas, which govern our activities, which we have seen before. So, that is why it's called Sankhya Shastra. Sankhya means counting. So, he says in Sankhya Shastra, 5 causes have been identified which determine the success of all our karmas. ज्ञातव्याः पदार्थाः संख्यायन्ते यस्मिन् शास्त्रे तत् सांख्यं वेदान्तः. All that we have to know, those padarthas, those individual elements have been counted in Sankhya Shastra. That is what we are now referring to. Yavan artha udapane sarvam karmachalam partha jnane parisamapyate. Bhagavan is quoting, Shankara is quoting from previous Bhagavad Gita shlokas. Iti atmajnane sanjate sarvakarmanam nivrittim darshayati. Once atmajnana arises, automatically all karmas will depart from you. अतः तस्मिन् आत्मज्ञानार्थे सांख्ये कृतान्ते वेदान्ते प्रोक्तानि कथितानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मिणाम्. For getting that Atmajnana, these causes have been given here, not for getting into karmas. For getting away from karmas, you must understand how a karma will succeed. That is how Bhagavan starts this discussion. So next shloka he will give what those 5 items are. पंचैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे सांख्ये कृतां ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम्.
अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथग्विधम् विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टाः दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम्.
What are those 5 causes for success of any karma? Adhishtanam. Adhishtanam is the body. Adhishtanam actually means the foundation, the base. That is why sannyasis resting places are known as Adhishtanam, because that is their resting place. That is the base where they are sitting after they depart from this body. So, Adhishtanam in this context means Ichchadvesha Sukha Jnanadinam Abhivaktihi Ashtrayaha Adhishtanam Shariram. Because all emotions are coming from this body. Ichchadvesha Sukha Jnana Adinam. Whether it is liking, whether it is hating, whether it is enjoying the comfort or whether it is enjoying the knowledge, all of these are coming from the mind, and mind is working from the body. So we are talking about the body, that is adhishtanam. That means unless you have a strong body, you cannot expect success in your karma. So body has to be functional. Tatha, karta. Next is karta, the doer. What is the doer here? Upadhi lakshanaha bhokta. That means the man who is going to enjoy the fruit of that karma. He is karta. Who is the doer of the karma? The one who is, only the doer will get the fruit, not anybody else. So the one who is going to get the fruit of the karma is karta, doer. Actually, it refers to the mind. Karanam. Karanam cha prithagvidham. Shrotradi shabdadyupalabdhaye nana prakaram. The 5 jnanendriyas, shrotra, etc., ear, eyes, etc. for what these jnanendriyas are used? Shabdadi upalabdhaye, for getting, these are sense organs. These collect various senses from outside world, Shabda, etc. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, we are saying. So, Nana Prakaram Tat Dwadasha Sankhyam. Shankara says they are 12 in numbers. What are those 12? 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Jnanendriyas, 5, and the remaining 2 are Manas and Buddhi. So, these 12 are the agents, the tools through which you perform your activity. Karanam. Karanam cha prithak vidham. Vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Prithak cheshtaha. Vayaviyaha pranapanadhyaha. Now all these sense organs, the body, the mind, etc. work on the basis of some power. What is that power? Prana Shakti is the power. So, if that Prana Shakti is not there, none of this is going to be functional. So, this is based on Prana, Apana, etc. That is why Shankara says, Vayaviyaha, Pranapanadhyaha, Prana, Apana, etc. Those Vayus, Vayaviyaha. So, they are Prithak Cheshtaha, because every one of these vital breaths has a function. Prana has got a function. Apana has got a different function. Samana has got a different function. Udana, etc. So, vividhascha prithak cheshtaha. Daivam chaiva atra panchamam. So, 4 have been identified. Adhishtanam, karta, karanam, prithak cheshtaha. Now, 5th is panchamam. 5th is Daivam chaiva atra. Divine intervention. Without divine intervention, no karma will succeed. Now, the divine intervention has been interpreted in 3 ways by commentators. What is Daivam? One is our old samskaras and vasanas. In fact, they only determine the fruit of the karma. Our old samskaras and vasanas are going to determine the fruit of the karma. This is enabled by Bhagavan. That is why Daivam, destiny. Second interpretation can be Indriya Devatas. Now, Surya is the Indriya Devata for the eye, etc., etc. Manas is governed by Chandra, etc. So, unless Chandra is favorable, you are not going to get your success of what you have done with your mind. Unless Surya is favorable, what you are going to do with your eyes will not be favorable to you, etc. So, Indriya Devatas are indicated by Daivam. The third is the most foundational, the most general. Paramatma's Chaitanya. Unless Paramatma has given you Chaitanya, you will be Jada. You will be inert. You are having what is called life. Then only all these activities are possible. And that is Paramatma's Chaitanya. Now, a commentator has given an example of a car in this context, these 5. A car is functioning because of these 5 reasons. This is for making us understand why these 5 are essential. The first one, Adhishtanam, is the raw materials, the finished individual products which form the body of the car. Adhishtanam. Factory. Factory where all this is done, where body of the car is made. Factory owner is the Karta. Karanam is how the basic functions are done in a car, that is, wheels, brakes, etc. Then, Prithakcheshtaha, the various inputs like petrol, etc. Without them, nothing will function. And Daivam is the driver. Without driver, nothing will happen. So, like this, here also our Bhagavan is the driver. Once we understand that, then we won't own the karma. That is why this explanation has been given. So all these are essential for success of the karma. Now I picked up a few Niti Shatakam shlokas. Bhimam vanam bhavati tasya puram pradhanam sarvo jana swajanatam upayati tasya Krishna cha bhur bhavati tannidhiratna purna Yasyasti purva sukrutam vipulam narasya. Because Daivam has been mentioned, same thing is being explained by Bhartrahari by calling it as purva sukrutam narasya vipulam. If your punya, purva sukrutam, which you have accumulated in your previous births, if it is enormous, vipulam, if you have enormous punya to your account, then you will get all this. What you will get? Bhimam varam bhavati tasya puram pradhanam. Even when you are in a terrible forest, you will enjoy as if it is a very comfortable city. Sarvo jana swajanatam upayati tasya. Whoever you meet will all be like your own chit and kin, swajanatam. Whoever you meet will function like your, will act like your kith and kin. Krishna Jabhur Bhavati Sannidhi Ratna Purna. Wherever you are there, whether you are in forest, whether you are in a village, whether you are in a city, whether you are in a foreign country, entire earth, Krishna Jabhu, entire earth will become Sannidhi Ratna Purna, will become full of gems. Wherever you turn, you will get wealth. All this will happen if you have punya to your account, the daivam. So even with minimum effort, some people succeed a lot. Even with maximum effort, some people don't succeed. This is the reason, because daivam is the determining factor. It doesn't mean that you don't put the efforts. That is why four factors refer to your efforts. Four factors refer to our efforts. Fifth is daivam. Unless daivam and purushakara, these four are referred to as purushakara, human effort. Unless these two combine, success will not be there. But both are required. That is the point he is making. One more, I think. Yes. वनेरणे शत्रुजलाग्निमध्ये महार्णवे पर्वतमस्तके वा सुप्तं प्रमत्तं विषमस्थितं वा रक्षन्ति पुण्यानि पुराकृतानि पुण्यानि रक्षन्ति. Whatever punya you have done in your previous lives, they go and protect you. The first was the positive, the comfort, the wealth. The second is protection from danger. Vanerane Shatru Jalagni Madhye, whether you are in a forest, whether you are in a battle, Rane, whether you are in the midst of enemies, whether you are caught in water, flood, whether you are caught in a fire, Agni Madhye, Maharnave, whether you are caught in an ocean, Parvata Mastakeva, whether you are caught on the pinnacle of a mountain, Suptam Pramattam Ushabhasthitam Va. Even when you are asleep, some people face danger when they are asleep. The whole house catches fire, gas cylinder explodes, etc., etc. So when you are sleeping, pramattam, when you are careless, pramattam means carelessness. You are not very careful. Ushamasthetam va, you are in a different place. Ushamasthetam, you are not in a very usual place and not an agreeable place. Under disagreeable circumstances. Place means circumstance. So, in all these conditions, your punya comes to your rescue. Vanerane Shatru Jalagni Madhye Maharnave Parvatamastake Va Suptam Prabhattam Ushamasthetam Va Rakshanti Punyani Purakratani. One more, I think, is there, which I picked up. Yeah. दैवेन प्रभुना स्वयं जगति यद्यस्य प्रमाणीकृतम् तत्तस्योपनयेन्मनागपि मदान् नैवाश्रयत्कारणम् सर्वाचा परिपूरके जलधरे वर्षत्यपि प्रत्यहम् सूक्ष्मा एव पतन्ति चातकमुखे द्वित्राः पयो बिन्दवः. दैवेन प्रभुना स्वयं जगति यत् यस्य प्रमाणीकृतम्. Whatever has been granted by Prabhu, by Bhagavan, has been given to you. That only. Tattasyopanayén managapi madan naivashrayat karanam tatasya upanayet. That will definitely reach him. Whatever destiny has given will definitely come to you. Managapi madan naivashrayat karanam. Only your efforts, ashrayaha, only your efforts is not going to be the cause. Managapi, even a little bit. Only your effort will succeed. No, only Bhagavan graces, then only you will succeed. सर्वाशा परिपूरके जलधरे वर्षत्यपि प्रत्यहम् सूक्ष्मायैव पतन्ति चातकमुखे द्वित्राप्रयो बिन्दवः चातकमुखे he is giving the example of a chataka pakshi which sustains itself only on a few drops of rainwater. The source of sustenance of chataka pakshi, it is a mythological pakshi, we don't know what it is, chataka. Now it sustains its life only on a few drops of rainwater. So he says, Sarvacha paripurake jaladhare. The clouds are there in all directions. Jaladhara is a cloud. Clouds are plenty. Dark clouds are plenty in the sky. And it goes on raining. Varshatyapi pratyaham. Every day it rains. But unless a few drops, ditraha vayobindava, 2-3 drops, unless they fall into the mouth of the chataka pakshi, then only it will be happy. Sukshma eva patanti, very subtle, a few drops. Then that chataka pakshi becomes satisfied, it is able to live. So its life is dependent on these few drops. Similarly, this is based on destiny. It is not based on chataka. Chataka pakshi is doing nothing except to keep its mouth open during the rain. So similarly, even if you do nothing, Daivam will see that your efforts are successful. I think I have a few Subhashitas also. I'll just pick them up. Because very common subject among poets. Yeah. Desham balam karyam upayamayuhu sanchintaya prarabhate krityam Mahodajam nadyayavati purnam samruddhaya tam purusham bhajante tam purusham samruddhayaha bhajante. All success, all plenty will go to that man. Which man? Desham balam karyam upayamayuhu sanchintaya prarabhate krityam. Before he starts any activity, he should think properly of Desham, the place where he is doing his activity. Balam, his own strength. Karyam, what is the activity? Do I have the capacity to do that activity? Upayam, do I know the method? I know everything, but I don't know the method. I don't have the resources. I don't have people to support me. That is upaya. Ayuhu, it may be a long time proposal. So do I expect to have energy, life to continue? Ayuhu, all this, because a man who is going to die, if he is taking up an activity, how can he succeed? That's the idea. So, prarabhate swakrityam. Before you start your activity, if you consider all this, then only you will succeed. Mahodajim nadyayavati purnam. Just as rivers go and fill the ocean. In fact, the ocean is full. The ocean is not going to be filled only by rivers. Similarly, these efforts which he had mentioned, Desham, Balam, etc., are like rivers which are going to give you success because you are already an ocean. The ocean is Bhagavan. You are already Bhagavan. So you will feel that you are getting something. That's the idea. That is the beauty of the Subhashita. And yes, one more from Valmiki Ramayana. Daivam Purushakareణ Kotivartitumārhati Vidhatri Vihitam Margam Nakaschid Ativartate. Ramayana gives this advice. Daivam Purushakareణ Kaha Ativartitum Arhati. By his own effort, Purushakareణ. Who can overcome the destiny? That means nobody can overcome the destiny by your effort. Daivam Purushakareణ Kaha Ativartitum Arhati. Vidhatri Vihitam Margam, whatever has been destined by Brahma at the time you were born, Nakasyati Ativartate, nobody can cross that, nobody can transgress that, nobody can go beyond that. So this is not an advice to be lazy. This is only to emphasize that Bhagavan grace is essential for success. The four factors have been identified as part of our effort. Fifth is Bhagavan's grace. Now, unless all these combine, there won't be success for any karma. Now, he has started from the basics of karma. Then he will go further. Adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha prithagvidham vividhascha prithag cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam.
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः.
This is a continuation of the previous sloka. Ete pancha tasya hetavaha. All these five are the causes for those karmas. Which karmas? Sharira vang manobhi yat karma prarabhate naraha. Naraha yat karma prarabhate. Man starts whichever karma he commences with his body, with speech, with his mind. Sharira vang manobhi. With his body, he starts the karma. With his speech, he starts the karma. With his mind, he starts the karma. Even that mental activity is also listed here. Any karma which he starts with his mind, with his speech, with his body, these five are the reasons for success of these karmas. Nyayam va viparitam va, whether they are as per dharma or whether they are as per adharma. पूर्वकृत धर्माधर्मयोः एव कार्यं यदि न्याय्य विपरीतयोः एव ग्रहणेन गृहीतम्. Whether dharma or adharma, whatever is the deciding factor of your karma, that doesn't matter. Even if you do a dharma karma, unless these five are favorable, you won't get success. Even if you are doing an adharma karma, you won't succeed unless these five factors are favorable. That is what Bhagavan is emphasizing. Shastriyam, ashastriyam, adharmyam. Shankara explains. Whether it is as per Shastras, whether it is as per not as per Shastras, whatever karma you do with these, because all karmas have to be performed either through body or through speech or through mind. So he has covered all gamut of karmas. All gamut of karmas, whichever you do, these five are the reason. Whether it is, so don't think that only dharma karmas are determined this way. No, even adharma karmas. Adharma karmas also sometimes don't succeed. For an evil person, this is the reason. Because he is not destined to succeed. If all evil karmas of all evil people succeed, we won't be able to live here. That is the idea. Sharira vangmano bhiryat karma prarabhate naraha nyayyam va viparitam va panchaite tasya hetavaha.
तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्य कृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः.
Now he has to, Bhagavan has to lead us towards the goal. Which is the goal? Atma Jnana is the goal, where all karmas drop. So to go there, he analyzed the karma. Now he is going to tell us why you should own that karma which has nothing to do with you. You are Atma. Karma has nothing to do with you. So to that argument, he is going to take us step by step. So he says, Tatra evam sati. When this is the background, this is the case. When this is the case, Atmanam kevalam yaha kartaram manyate pachyati. One who considers Atman as the doer, because all the problem comes because people consider Atma as the doer, as the person who does the karma. If you know Atma is not doing anything, is only a sakshi, is only a witness, then all problems disappear. Then you know it is the mind, it is the body, it is the speech which does the karma. And it succeeds if five factors are favorable. It doesn't succeed if those five factors are not favorable. Anyway, I have nothing to do with that karma. I am Atma. So that is the Atma Jnana which you have to reach. So he is now taking us on that path. So one who pashyati, one who considers, one who sees that Atma is kevalam, he alone. Atma, not even considering the body. Atma kevalam, only he. Only Atma is the doer. Then he is a durmati. He is not using his intellect properly. He is a fool. Durmati. He is driven by misunderstanding. तत्र एतेषु आत्मानन्यत्वेन अविद्यया परिकल्पितैः क्रियमाणस्य कर्मणः अहमेव कर्ता इति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं शुद्धं तु यः पश्यति अविद्वान् दुर्मतिः अविद्वान् he is a fool. Why he is a fool? आत्मानन्यत्वेन अविद्यया. Avidya is what is doing the karma. It has nothing to do with Atma. Parikalpitaihi. It is the actions done by avidya, through avidya. Ahameva karta. I am only the doer. Aham me Atma. Atmanam kevalam shuddham tu yaha pashyati. Atma is all alone. It has nothing to do with anything else. It stands in its own glory. It has nothing to do with body. It has nothing to do with karma. Kevalam shuddham. When that is the pure Atma, and that pure Atma you are associating with avidya, which does the karma, then that is durmatihi, that is foolishness. Vedanta acharya upadesha jnayaihi akrita buddhitvat, asamskrita buddhitvat. Why this happens? Because you have not listened to Vedanta, you have not listened to acharya upadesha. Advice of the Acharya. Vedanta Acharya Upadesha Nyayahi. Whatever principles they have taught you, they have not entered into your brain. Akrita buddhitvat, asamskrita buddhitvat. Your buddhi is not yet pure. That is why you are like this. Yopi dehadi vitirikta atmavadi atmanameva kevalam kartaram pashyati. Atma has nothing to do with the body, but you think that Atma is the doer of the karma. That is akrita buddhi. You are not using your buddhi. Ataha durmatihi. Janana marana pratipatti hetu bhuta matihi asya iti durmatihi. Why Bhagavan is calling him durmati? Durmati means evil-minded. You can call him a fool. Instead of calling him a fool, he is calling him evil-minded. Why? Because your mind is being used towards evil. What is the evil? You are going to be born again. Janana marana pratipatti hetu bhuta matihi. You are using your intellect in favor of rebirth again and again. That is why you are durmati. Saha paschannapi na paschati. Even pashyati akrita buddhitvat nasa pashyati durmatihi. Akrita buddhitvat. What is akrita buddhi? This is not proper application of the intellect. Intellect has been applied in a wrong direction. That is, Atma is the doer and body and mind are not the doer. That is the problem. That is the akrita buddhi. Pashyati akrita buddhitvat. So, since he is seeing the wrong thing, nasa pashyati. He is not really seeing the right thing. Yatha taimirikaha anekam chandram. One who has defect in his eye, this is a common example given in Vedanta. One who has got a defect in his eye, when he looks at the sky, he does not look at one moon, he looks at several moons, and he says there are several moons in the sky. Actually, there is only one moon. Similarly, Atma is only one, which has nothing to do with karma. But this man, all his karmas he is associating with Atma, that is the foolishness. यथा वा अभ्रेषु धावत्सु चन्द्रं धावन्तं यथा वा वाहने उपविष्टः अन्येषु धावत्सु आत्मानं धावन्तं. Shankara gives some more examples. When Chandra moves in the sky, he thinks that he is moving. He is stationary, Chandra is moving. But he thinks Chandra is stationary, he is moving. When you are seated in a vehicle, the vehicle is moving, but you are thinking the stationary objects on the other side, or on the other side of the road are moving. They appear to be moving. Similarly, these are appearances which are wrong. You know that you are traveling, you are moving, not the tree, not the road, not the objects on the other side, but you think for your appearance. Similarly, these are examples. Similarly, you think that Atma is the doer, and Atma has nothing to do with activity. So the basic teaching now he has opened from the analysis of the karma, success of the karma. So this is for developing detachment towards karma. You know there are 5 entities which determine the success of the karma, and those are nothing to do with Atma. I am Atma, so he is coming to that part. तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत् अकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः.
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते.
This thought process of karma leading to jnana, if you take to karma yoga, how it leads to jnana, that part of the teaching he is going to close with this shloka. So he is now closing it. Yasya bhavaha na ahankritaha, yasya buddhihi na lipyate. 2 conditions he is putting. If you fulfill these 2 conditions, you have become a successful karma yogi. What are the 2 conditions? Yasya bhavaha na ahankritaha. Your emotions are not driven by ahankara. Yasya shastra acharya upadesha jnaya samskritatmanaha. See how he is, Shankara is interpreting always. Always is bringing shastra and acharya upadesha. Because without acharya upadesha, shastra jnana will not rise properly in you. All shastras are very, very clear in this. Without Guru's grace, without Guru's upadesha, you cannot succeed in Vedanta. That is why Shankara is mentioning again and again. Shastra Acharya Upadesha Nyaya Samskrita Atmana. If your mind has been purified with the Guru's Upadesha and your knowledge of Shastras, Ahankara will already would have left you. Na bhavati ahankritaha. Aham karta yatyevam lakshanaha bhavaha bhavana pratyayaha. I am the doer. That thought will not be entertained by you. Ete eva pancha adhisthanadeha avidyaya atmani kalpitaha. These 5 reasons, adhisthana, etc., which were mentioned in the previous sloka, they are all performed by avidya, and I am superimposing that avidya on my atma, sarvakarmanam karta, na aham. Aham tu tad vyaparanam sakshi bhutaha. I am atma, I am only a witness of all these activities. Aprano kshamana shubhro yaksharat paratah paraha. He is quoting from Mundaka Upanishad. Atma has no prana shakti because it is full of Chaitanya and it is alone. Amanaha, it has no mind. Subhraha, it is ever pure, ever white. Aksharati parataha paraha. It is beyond Maya. It is beyond everything which you see around you. Kevalaha avikriyaha. It is nothing to act. No action is associated with. Buddhihi antakaranam yasya atmanaha upadibhuta na lipyate na anusayini bhavati. Buddhihi yasya na lipyate. Next point. Whose intellect does not get attached. Who has no ahankara when he performs the actions, whose intellect does not get attached to the actions. What does it mean? Yasya atmanaha upadhibhuta nalipyate na anushayini bhavati. That means he has associated himself with Atma and not the body. So he is not developing any attachment to the actions. Idam aham akarsham tena aham narakam gamishyami ityevam yasya buddhi na lipyate. This activity I have done, so I have to go to Naraka. This kind of feeling will not be entertained by him, because next line he is going to say an activity which will definitely take you to Naraka. But you will not go to Naraka because you are fulfilling this qualification. That is why he is bringing this aspect. Idam aham akarsham tena aham narakam gamishyami. I have done this sin, so I will go to Naraka. That thought will not be entertained by this man who is a jnani. Hatva api saha iman lokan. Even if he kills all these worlds, nahanti, he is not a killer. Na nibadhyate, he is not bound by that fruit of that karma. There is no bondage of the fruit of that karma of killing all the worlds. Why he is talking about killing all the worlds? Because killing is the subject which was taken up by Arjuna. So this is only a reference to that, to emphasize that the activity of a jnana, which he does through his body, mind, and speech, does not have any effect on him because he has associated himself with Atma, not the body. So that point has been made clear by this example of Hatvapita Yaman Lokan. Now, if there is a contradiction, isn't it? He has killed all the worlds, and you are saying he is not a killer. So this contradiction has been taken up for detailed analysis by Shankara. Naiva doshaha, he starts. Now, let us look at the conclusion. What is the conclusion arrived at by Shankara? The conclusion is the world considers him as a killer. Laukike drishtim achritya. From the point of view of the world, he is a killer. But from the point of view of Atma, he is not a killer. Paramarthikim drishtim ashritya. If you look at him from the point of view of Paramartha drishti, Vedanta drishti, then he is not a killer. Nahanti naribadhyate. Why? Because Atma is alone, impartite, no parts. It cannot combine with the body. Body is inert. Atma is full of Chaitanya. And Atma Chaitanya's reflected Chaitanya, mind is using for all these activities, which is avidya. Reflected Chaitanya refers to avidya. For performing acts, like Shankara is giving an example, like a shell appears to be silver on the river bank or on the seashore. In bright sunlight, a seashell looks like silver. So you go, ha ha, I found silver. And you go there and then you find it is only a shell. Same way, even if this man kills, that killing is only an appearance, like it was silver. And it's only shell. So he is not a killer. So this is an example given by Vedanta. So this subject of ownership of the karma is concluded here. Don't own any karma because Atma does not have any karma to do. So that point has been made through analysis of karma, through analysis of the attitude of karma yoga. Yasya naham krito bhavo buddhir yasya na lipyate hatvapi sa yaman lokan bharanti na nibadhyate.
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविधः कर्म संग्रहः.
Now, again, he is coming back to the analysis of the karma. And this is for the purpose of our understanding why Atma is not doing any karma, why Jnani is not doing any karma, why ordinary person feels he is doing the karma. That point has been made in the previous sloka, that is further taken up for further explanation. Bhagavan goes into technicalities, like he went into technicalities of karma. Now he is going into the technicalities of the difference between a jnani and karmi. Jnanam, Jneyam, Parijnata, Trividha, Karma Chodana. Karma Chodana means something which drives you to do a karma. Something, Chodana means propeller. The propeller of karma or of three kinds, Trividha. Jnanam, Jneyam, Parijnata. Jnanam is the knowledge. Jneyam is that which is to be known. Parijnata is the knower. This is what we have seen as Triputi earlier. Every activity needs these three. That is, first you must know what is to be done. There has to be a doer, that is Parijnata. One has to understand. Then, what is to be known? Jneyam. The process of knowledge, the object which is to be known, and a person who knows, who obtains this knowledge. So, unless these three are there, no karma can be started. So, even for starting a karma, you have to put yourself to the knowledge, that is parijnata. And you have to go through the process of knowledge, that is jnana. And what you learn, you must decide, that is jnayam, isn't it? Just as students choose a course of study, whether I should choose science, whether I should choose arts. So that is jnayam. Who is deciding? Parijnata, that is the student. So student and this object is study of the course, jnanam. Then once you have entered the course, you acquire the knowledge, that is jnana. So that karma which is attaining the knowledge by attending that particular course is determined by these three. These are the propeller, mandate to work. Now, while doing the karma, again there are three. Karanam karma karteti trividhaha karma sangrahaha. Karma sangrahaha. Karma is expanding. Karma is pervading these three. What are those three? Karanam, karma, karta. पंचभिः अधिष्ठानादिभिः आरब्धं वाङ्मनःकाय आश्रयभेदेन त्रिधा राशीभूतं त्रिषु करणादिषु संगृह्यते इति एतत् उच्यते. Karanam refers to all the tools, jnanendriya, karmendriya, mind, intellect, etc. Now, 5 causes were identified, adhisthana, etc. And 3 methods were identified, vang, manas, kaya. So, these karanas are divided into 3, vang, manas, kaya, and they go through the 5 process, that is karanam. Karma, whatever activity you have decided to do, that is karma. Ipstitatamam kartuho kriyaya vyapyamanam. Karta, the doer. Karananam vyaparayata upadhi lakshanaha. This is important. Upadhi lakshanaha is one who has identified himself with that activity. That is karta. One who has identified himself with the activity. Upadhi. Upadhi is the attribute. What is the attribute? Identification with the activity. That then he is the karta. Now, these 3 determine the scope of the karma, karma sangraha. The scope of the karma is determined by the karta, that is by the doer, by the activity which he does, and the tools which he uses, the instruments, the jnanendriyas, karmendriyas, the mind, etc. These 3 determine his scope of work. ज्ञानादीनां हि तयाणां सन्निपाते हानोपादानादि प्रयोजनः सर्वकर्म आरम्भः स्यात्. Why Jnanam was brought as the first item, Shankara is explaining, because that is what is going to determine the success or the failure, the profit or the loss. Jnana upadanadi prayojanaha sarva karma arambha syat. This Jnanam, karma, karta, that is going to decide the success. These 3 are going to decide the success or failure of the karma. And the scope of the karma, how you do the karma is determined by karanam, karma, and karta. Jnanam jneyam parijnata trividha karma chodana karanam karma karteti trividha karma sangraha.
Jnanam karma cha karta cha tridhaiva guna bhedatah prochyate guna sankhyane yathavat shrunutanyapi.
Now these three, out of these six, he picked up three, jnanam, karma, karta. Why he picked up three? Because he is going to talk about these three with reference to sattva, rajas and tamas gunas. Jnanam again is divided into three gunas. Karma is divided into three gunas. Karta is also divided into three gunas. Now the other three, jnayam, parijnata, karanam, are not going to be decided or not going to be classified into these three categories, sattva, rajas, and tamas, because they are the object of study. Jnayam, parijnata, the knower, karanam, the instrument which you use, etc. They are not decided by the gunas. So he says, these three, jnanam, karma, karta, these three, trisaiva gunabhedataha, because of the difference among gunas, among qualities, sattva, rajas, and tamas, they fall into three categories. Tridha eva. Prochyate gunasankhane yathavat shrunuthanyapi. Gunasankhane. While enumerating the gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, these three are taken up. Prochyate. These three are explained. Jnanam, karma, and karta are explained while enumerating the gunas, gunasankhane. Yathavat tanyapi shrunu. I am going to tell you as they are, yathavat, in reality. These three categories of jnanam, karma, and karta, being categorized into three gunas, I am going to tell you exactly as they are, yathavat. Shrunu tanyapi. Listen to me carefully, because this is what is going to determine the further progress, whether you are because all progress depends on sattva, rajas, and tamas. You have to get over rajas and tamas, come to sattva, and you have to finally get over sattva also. We have seen the gunatita state. So when you are doing anything, this aspect has to be borne in mind. So he is going to into the categories. Gunasankhane is Kapila Shastra, where the gunas have been enumerated by Kapila in his Sankhya Shastra. Now he is taking from there. Shankara, of course, goes into explanation saying that whatever Kapila says in Sankhya is not agreeable to Vedanta. Some of the conclusions are not agreeable to Vedanta. We are not talking about that. We are talking only about the enumeration of the gunas, which were beautifully done by Kapila Muni. So, Guna Sankhyane. Kapilaha Guna Gauna Vyapara Nirupane Adhiyuktaha. They are experts in this description of the gunas. So Bhagavan is quoting them. Jnanam karma chakarta cha tridhaiva gunabhedataha prochyate gunasankhyane yathavachrunutanyapi.
सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्.
First he is taking up jnanam. Jnanam has to be divided into three categories. First is sattvika category. What can be called Sattvika Jnana. Which Jnana is Sattvika Jnana? Tat Jnanam Sattvikam Vidhi. That Jnana, understand as Sattvika. Which Jnana? Sarvabhuteshu Yena Ekam Bhavam Avyayam Ikshate. That is the basic Sattvika Jnana. Sarvabhuteshu, Avyaktadi Sthavaranteshu, all beings, right from the unmanifest state of Brahma, right from there. Sthavara, like the inert objects, like a mountain. Right from the starting point of Brahma, right up to the inert objects like a mountain, in all beings, Ekam Bhavam, only one entity is present, and that entity is Paramatma. Avyayam, that entity does not change. It gives the appearance of a mountain, it gives the appearance of Brahma, it gives the appearance of Devendra, it gives the appearance of a lion or tiger, but these are appearances. There is only one Paramatma. Ekam Bhavam Avyayam, with no change, with no vikara. Swatmana Swadharmena Va, by in its essence or in its quality. In its essence or in its quality, there is no change in that. Paramatma does not change in essence or quality, whether he expresses himself as a lion or whether he expresses himself as a mountain or whether he expresses himself as Brahma. That jnana, if you have got, that is sattvika jnana. Sarva bhuteshu, among all beings, ekam bhavam, one unique understanding, avyayam. That understanding is of Paramatma who has no change, who has no vikara. Yena ikshate. Ikshate means one who sees. That which is seen by a person. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu. That aspect is being emphasized further by giving this phrase. Vibhakteshu. By appearance, they are all different. There is nothing common in appearance between lion and mountain, between Devendra and Brahma. There's nothing in common. Their activity, their appearance, their apparent activity, everything is different. Vibhakteshu, they are all different. Avibhaktam, there is something which is common without being divided like this, without giving a divisive appearance. There is one common entity. What is the common entity? That is Paramatma. Avibhaktam pratideham, vibhakteshu dehabhedeshu. It is only the body which is different, not the essence. Vyomavat nirantaram. It is nirantaram means, antaram means gap. Nirantaram means no gap. Sky is continuous, isn't it? There is no discontinuity in the sky. Similarly, Paramatma is continuous. He is not in individual entities like Devendra, like Brahma, like mountain. Those are appearances, like clouds in a sky. Similarly, the sky is continuous, so you should know that Paramatma is continuous. Vyomavati nirantaram. Tadjnanam sakshat samyak darshanam advaita atma vishayam satvikam vidhi. This right knowledge, samyak darshanam, advaita atma vishayam. The atma which is having no second, there is only one atma. If you know that, that is sattvika jnana. Sarvabhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayamikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tajnanam vidhi satvikam. Next.
पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्.
Tajnanam vidhi rajasam. That jnana understand as rajasa jnana, vijnana. Prithaktvena tu yajnanam nana bhavan prithak vidhan. Even every body, prati shariram, anyatvena yati jnanam, nana bhavan bhinna. In every body you see a different person. Nana bhavan, various understandings. You see a lion, you have a certain understanding. You see a mountain, you have a certain understanding. You see Devendra, you have a different understanding. If that is your level of knowledge, Nana Bhavan, Prithak Vidhan, they are all different from each other. Nana Bhavan, various levels of understanding. Various levels of understanding which are different from each other. Prithak Vidhan. Prithak Tvena, and your basis is difference. You are looking for a difference. If you are looking for a difference of various types and difference among different entities, apparent entities, then sarveshu bhuteshu, in all being, this is not confined to a particular group of beings. Whenever you look at every being, you look for a difference. Because difference is the identity. Difference is the identity. Difference is the basis of our understanding of recognizing various entities. So he says, Prasakttvena, that is why he brought that point right at the beginning. Difference is the basis of your understanding instead of unity. The first Satvika was unity. Unity was Paramatma. Instead of looking at Paramatma as the unifying factor, you are looking at difference, which is the factor common to all beings. What is the factor common to all beings? Not Paramatma. It is a difference. That is the difference appearance, prasaktve. Vetti sarveshu bhuteshu. Whenever you look at any being, if you know Vetti, if you know the difference, that jnanam vidhi rajasam. That jnanam is rajasa jnanam. Why it is rajasam? यानि द्वैतदर्शनानि तानि असम्यग्भूतानि राजसानि तामसानि च इति न साक्षात् संसारोच्छित्तये भवन्ति. This jnana is not going to lead to your getting away from samsara. You are going to get more and more entangled into samsara with this jnana. Naturally, it is rajasa. Rajasani, tamasani. Tamasa also is going to fall into this category. Asamyak bhutani, not the right understanding. Dvaita darshanani, always you are looking at Dvaita, difference, not Advaita. So it is Rajasa jnana. Prithaktvena tuya jnanam, jnana bhavan prithakvidan, vetti sarveshu bhuteshu, tajnanam vidhi rajasam. We stop with this for today. We continue with our study of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, in our next session, next Saturday at 7:30 p.m. IST as usual. Any questions?
Those who have questions, please unmute yourself, turn on your video and ask questions. Any question, anybody? Any question? No questions, Guruji.
Oh, okay. So we close for the day. We meet again next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. IST. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. Rajarajeshwari.
Thank you, Guruji.